I've always had this color though. What the heck?
Well, now we're live.
What color?
Hello.
Oh.
Are you still having issues getting your? Are you?
I just don't have any dice.
You should. They're right here.
No, that's not my dice.
They're green.
Oh, now they are.
I'm
okay.
helping.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you do that.
Thank you.
Anyways,
10, 8, 20.
welcome everybody to tonight's episode of Roll Call Rebirth. We've got everybody joining us in, thankfully. I'll let everybody do outros at the end, but instead of doing awkward stuff at the beginning, I'm just going to get started because I need to get started because we're already late and it's killing me. By the way, let me know if levels sound okay because this is my first time. I actually I've got new audio equipment here for some other reasons. So if everybody sounds okay, let me know. If anybody needs to be louder, let me know. Thanks in advance. Love you. Okay. So, quick recap. So previously on Roll Call, our heroes defended the village of Saldinia against a goblin attack. Upon further investigation, it was revealed that someone must have been helping the goblins as they possessed magic wands that appeared to be beyond their own ability to craft. The next morning, the party set out on the road with a certain Aaron McIntyre. He was an exterminator who had been hired by the mayor of Saldinia to eliminate the goblin threat. Aaron told the party that he had located the goblins' den. The party then set out, planning to eliminate the goblins' king and the nest itself. On the road towards the den, they saw an overturned wagon and a dead body. Upon investigation, they discovered that another body had apparently been drug away off the road somewhere. They investigated and found two charred corpses. It appeared, though, whoever had been captured had potentially fought the goblins off and then escaped and headed back towards Saldinia. At this point, they continued on down the road. They did eventually sneak their way with mixed success towards the towards the goblin den, and that's where we're finding them now. So for the players last time, several of you, Ness, Selena, and then Bate, you had all already entered the entrance to the den. Meanwhile, behind you, Tortang and Aaron took out two goblin scouts, and then proceeded to follow you in. And then from far back, our two heavier clad fighters managed to make their way up. With Cricky had Dragathiel had her ethereal snake familiar riding on the shell of Tortang, so she was able to see and know when it was safe to proceed. So they all cut up. You guys have now convened at the entrance to the Goblin's Den. What are you guys doing at this point?
So I obviously don't have dark vision or anything like that, so I can't see in the dark. And my idea was to use the snake that's currently around my shell to kind of like point me in the direction since it can actually see. I don't know if that was going to be an actual viable thing or like I'll still take, I'm assuming, disadvantage and stuff like that on those rolls and everything.
I mean, if you just want to use it to like not run into the wall,
yes,
essentially you can do that. That is all again up to Dragathiel and whether what she tells her snake to kind of do. But I imagine with a little finagling, you could work it out to where it can kind of push and pull on you to try and keep you from running into stuff. But it's going to still be kind of a wonky walk. But yes, you can definitely do it because it, like I said, the snake does have blind sight. So
yeah, because I didn't think the whole lighting a torch as we're moving along would help with the whole stealth thing. So
okay, what about everybody else?
Do you want to be stealthy? Because if you want lights, I could do the dancing lights, but I also have dark vision. Also, can I do
light on things and it'll stay lit for like half an hour.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to use, in my opinion, I don't think we really need to use any lights until we actually come up to something. So people with the dark vision should go in first.
Lead the way.
Yeah.
I don't feel very good with all this snooping around and sneaking myself.
It sounds like a good way to get killed.
It just doesn't feel right.
It's up to you guys. I'm good either way.
Do what you're gonna do.
And to be clear, so for those of you who don't know, our 3 elf ladies you can see just fine. Our 3 guys actually.
I'm not actually there though.
No, you just you
You are.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of together. You're just a little bit. You're a few steps behind, but you're not far.
Yeah, we're further back.
But so the 3 elf ladies you can see just fine in the dark, up to 60 feet. Our 3 dudes cannot see at all. So you guys are the ones who've got to worry about seeing or not. At this point,
I can see.
At this point, Aaron kind of
We're
like
up with a non-seeing friend.
you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I think it's me and I can't remember Tigger's name. Mercy.
Mercy.
That can't see because he's
Mochi
human.
and Mercy.
So.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Tigger?
Say that again.
What do you want to like as far as lighting and going forward? What do you want to do?
I would prefer to have the way lit a little
Okay.
bit. I'm basically useless without my sight. I'm not quite as adept in the dark as I'd like to be.
Well, I mean, if you guys wanted to, we could pair up, we go in, and then if at any point anyone needs me to, I can cast the dancing lights.
Let's just cast light on something and we
You
can just
want?
go forward.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Does
Wasting
one of you
my time.
have light?
Yes, do.
I have dancing lights, right? Does anyone else have
Well,
lights?
Am I not? You can hear my voice, right?
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah,
can hear my
a
voice.
little bit.
Where
You're a
I've
little
said
low.
like 7 times I can cast that spell. So I'm gonna walk over to Mercy, and I'm gonna find something maybe like that's. Do you have anything sort of like hanging off of you, or anything that I can touch that you would want lit up?
You could light up maybe the blade of my rapier, one of my
Done.
rapiers.
So I cast light on his rapier.
Okay.
Rapier.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, and you kind of you play with it a second. You pull it out. It shines as you put it away in your sheath. It becomes dark again. What's the length of time that lasts?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. Very good. At this point, Aaron kind of turns around to you guys. He says, "All right." He says, and he pulls out, like from his pack, he pulls out a set of goggles and puts them on. He says, "Oh, I can see. Does anybody want to come up front with me, and we can scout ahead a little bit so that we don't attract too much attention with the light?"
I'll go.
I'll come hat. Oh,
Oh,
I don't really care who it is. It'd just be nice to have somebody watching my back.
I mean, I can see in the dark too.
but you didn't volunteer.
okay. Ness, you go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You, all right. So Ness, who cannot see in the dark,
I can.
can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Ness can see in the dark.
I'm a TV being.
Oh, you're
I
right.
have
Sorry.
I
For some
thought you
reason,
said
I got
you
you
was
confused with
gonna see.
Dragonborn. That's
Yeah.
it's a huge
No, I can
offense.
see just fine.
So yes, the two of you make your way up. Aaron and you lead by about 20 or 30 feet or so. He kind of leans back to everybody. Says, "All right. So generally, he's like, we're gonna try and sneak past the upper levels as best we can. The goblins generally, their king likes to be in the safest place, which is going to be in the deepest part of this tunnel. So we need to go as far down as we can, as quietly as we can. And then if we take him out, we can hopefully sneak back out, and that's that. Are there any questions before we get into even more imminent danger?"
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
All right. With that, he just kind of gives you guys a nod, and he says, "Just follow a short ways behind us so the light doesn't draw any attention." And so he heads ahead with you, Ness, just right kind of in step with him. As you guys get further in, these earthen, it's apparently hand-dug tunnels, as goblins are pretty good at tunneling. Largely earthen tunnels, relatively smooth. I mean, it's for what it is, it's decent craftsmanship, but it begins to widen the further you guys go into this large hill, and it's just slowly sloping downwards as you guys go. And as you make your way further in, let me see. Can you roll me a perception check there, Ness?
Great. Total of 9.
Okay. You don't appear to notice anything. Could everybody roll me a stealth check real quick?
I would if people stop shrinking my dice.
So wait, we're still all together?
You guys are so the 5 of you are slightly behind Ness and Aaron, who are kind of leading the way.
Okay. And what am I rolling right now? A D20?
Stealth. So yes, a D20.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Well, and technically, I believe you have to roll at disadvantage too,
I got a 10.
Oh.
because
What's
of
this?
your.
Wait, perception. Sorry.
I
No,
I also
stealth.
rolled an 8.
Oh,
I got
sorry.
a 16 the second time, so I got an 8.
Okay.
Us clunky boys gotta stick together.
Got
So
a
we
10
got 8, 8, 10,
Total of 12.
I got a
12,
15.
15, and Sam, what did you get?
Trying to look at. I lost my sheet because I'm a dummy. I rolled a 10, but I don't know what if I have an adder. Do I get an adder for that?
You probably do. Let me check. I've actually got your sheet pulled up.
For
stealth.
I get +2.
Plus 2,
right?
so yes.
So
Yes.
12.
Yeah. Thankfully, the earthen tunnel you guys are in absorbs a lot of the sound just due to that it's made of dirt. But Aaron kind of he just drops his head for a second. He says, "Can we try and be a little more quiet?" And as he says this, Ness, you notice kind of on your right as he's looking back, there's a large opening, like as another tunnel splits off to the right, and the two of you are just about to walk right in front of it at this point.
I put my hand in front of it.
Okay. He
And
kinda
point
okay.
silently.
Yeah. So you guys peek around the corner here. Roll me another perception check real quick.
Big money. That's a 19
19. Okay.
total.
Yeah. So as you peer around the corner, you see just in this room in front of you probably like 15 or so goblins just on the ground sleeping at this point. And as you look down, you notice at your feet, like immediately around the corner, there's another goblin kind of he apparently supposed to be watching, but he's kind of like leaned against the wall asleep at this point,
Okay.
like goblins do.
Like you do, yeah.
But yeah, as Aaron stops, he like his eyes are pretty big. He looks back at everybody,
Sure.
and he points to the side there. All right, so everybody got a pretty rough stealth check leading up to this point. I need you guys to roll me a stealth check one more time, and if there's anything you would like to do to be stealthier, that is up to you to try it. But
Can I do the Eldritch Sight to see if there's magic things around?
I believe so.
Also, I rolled a 20. Actually, I took a 22 with the adder.
21!
21
Second stealthy.
wait, on disadvantage?
Wait, what?
No, I forgot about that. Again.
Yeah.
Yay, me.
It's gonna be a
Wait,
7.
I missed the thing.
I got 16.
Okay.
At 11.
Okay.
I got 19.
Okay. What was yours on disadvantage?
Oh god.
Just leave me behind.
What was it? Was it like a 3?
What?
So
I'm really good. Actually, I rolled a 1, but I
Okay.
have a +1.
So, yeah, with that, you guys at the back see as Dragathiel kind of begins to like trip on a root again, and you all three of you kind of catch her like, and like kind of try and like lift her up a bit, just to walk,
Raise me up.
just to set her back down softly, and like everybody's like holding on to her at this point, like trying to pass this nest of sleeping goblins on your right here. But at the moment, they don't appear to have noticed you. And at this point, you guys, you've begun descending again and again, and it's going deeper and deeper as the actual tunnel itself begins to then take like a 90-degree turn and head back to where you guys were going. So you're now heading underneath where the previous goblins just were. Same sort of thing. There's not a lot of echoes as the ground's absorbing a lot of the sound, but you do occasionally hear just like water kind of dribbling by on the side of the tunnel there. The tunnel at this point is kind of opened up wide enough to where you guys can walk to a side, and it's looking largely the same as the previous one. You get the sense that there's probably another nest coming up soon, as Aaron's kind of actively looking around for it. And sure enough, about 50 to 100 feet later, after coming to the bottom of this turn, you guys do see another opening on the side there. Who's up front still? Is it still Aaron and Ness? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, go and roll me another perception check.
That's a 16.
Okay. You hear a little bit of noise coming from around the corner there where this other nest apparently is located. It sounds as if a few of them are perhaps bickering or arguing. You see just like the tiniest flicker of like a light from around the corner. But there does appear to be some sort of scuffle going on. But it's difficult to tell what size from here without actually looking around the corner.
Okay. I'm assuming Aaron sees or hears all of this as well as being right next to me, but I don't know for sure. So I kind of
he appears to as you guys kind of meet eyes.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I just kind of like I'm trying not to use words, you know.
Okay. So as you guys, he kind of like just motions just you as you guys go and peek around the corner, and it appears like there are about the same number, about 10 to 12 goblins in this little area, and several of them appear to be like in the middle of the floor, kind of like 3 or 4 of them are like scrapping, and most of them appear to be focused on that. As you kind of peer around the corner, a few of them like are looking in the direction of the tunnel, but they appear to be focused on the fight at the moment.
Sure.
But that's all you currently see at the moment.
So I'm whispering like, do we just creep past?
I mean, we could.
I don't really like all this sneaking around, but it's a lot.
There's a lot. He says we could try crossing one at a time, or try to look small like a goblin. I don't know. So this is a much bigger nest than I actually was expecting.
Okay. I told him to hang on 1 second. And I kind of walk back to the group. And I say there's another group, and they're not asleep this time. So which one? You. And I point at Dragathiel, and I'm like, you're the loud one. We're gonna go by one, but you're going first. So if you trip or fall or do something stupid, the rest of us are ready for it.
Hey!
Shh.
We could set up a trap. I have actually an affinity for
Actually, can I just say something really quick?
Sure.
Quietly.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How far is it from the opening to where we need to get?
I don't know. About maybe like what?
You mean what is
I
the
it's
distance
good.
of
Yeah,
the?
yeah.
Oh yeah, about
How big is the
4 or 5
portal
feet
in-
at most. It's not huge.
About 4 or 5 feet at most. It's not huge. Mercy, you were saying
so
traps?
so we could set up a trap. I have an affinity for impersonating the speech. And I, from in town, I think I could at least create enough sounds they would feel, it's something that could disarm them and bring them closer in. We could surprise attack them.
No, I don't think we're trying to attack them. I think we're trying to bypass them completely. They're distracted. There's something going on. I think we might be running out of time. So we need to decide if we're gonna fight or if we're gonna go. And if we go, you're going first. I say to Dragathiel again.
Well, you heard the guy. Go.
So I'm gonna start walking back up to the thing. I can't see what's happening on anybody else's screen or whatever, but
Okay.
I'm making my way. Making way downtown.
13.
13. Okay. And that was with disadvantage? Okay.
Because I rolled a 21 the first time.
Oh, that's a bummer that happened to you. So yeah, at this point, as everybody's kind of like trying to motion you on, what you just kind of like you just quickly tick, 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 like tiptoe across, and there's just a little bit of like of armor, but it doesn't appear to be loud enough to draw their attention over the scuffle that's happening. in their midst. At the moment, none of them appear to have noticed. At this point, Aaron is actually going to go ahead and go as well, because he doesn't feel super awesome having the noisiest person all by herself on the other side there. Okay, he quickly just kind of sneaks right across.
I'll go next.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds real good.
4.
This is why we can't have nice things.
4.
4? Yeah.
Can I do a quick detect magic to see if there's any magic anything around?
What's the range on that? But you can.
I have 30 feet. Are we close enough? Right?
Not to anything in where the goblins are, if that's what you're trying to go for.
Okay.
Most of them are a little out of your range. If you're just trying to sense in general, you can try.
No, I was trying to see if the goblins had anything, so we'd
Okay.
know what was coming if anything
Gotcha.
happens.
Something's
Gotcha.
gonna happen.
You know, you know, Sam, roll me. We'll just do. Let me check. I want to double check your stats. Roll me an Arcana check for that.
What number die?
So it's still a D20. For most things,
Okay.
it'll be a D20, unless I tell you
Okay.
otherwise. Just assume it is.
Okay. All right. So I rolled a 20.
Yeah, and then so you know that most of the time there have been goblins who have been proficient with magic, but for the most part they are not. That doesn't mean they don't have magic items they've stolen, but you do know that even if they get them, oftentimes they have no idea how to use them. So you at least feel somewhat comfortable that if they have magic detection, they probably aren't super proficient at it.
Okay.
So with a 4, getting back to Tortang, you pretty clearly you take a step across, like kind of trip smack into the wall, and then roll around the corner, and and with your shell kind of like against the wall beside Dragathiel, looking to your left, like there was a loud like slapping sound as your shell smacked into the earth there, and for a second like you hear just like a quieting down, and there's just like and then they go back to fighting, but roll me a perception check actually there, Tortang.
Uh, 11.
11. It's difficult to
Rolls are
say. Difficult to say if there's many, but it sounded like at least one might have peeled off to come check out what's going on. So on the other side we have Aaron, Dragathiel, and Tortang. Meanwhile, the goblins are kind of still doing whatever they were doing, fighting over something, or it's not entirely clear what at this point. On the other side, kind of what's the order of you guys? What's the order you guys are planning to go across in?
I can go next.
Okay. And to be clear, you have what? Do you have medium armor? Do you know?
I have heavy.
Okay.
Can he not see?
So
Don't forget to put your sword back in it.
Yeah, no, I've my sword's been in.
So at this point, Mercy, with your sword away, it's completely pitch black for you.
Well, so what I want to do is like just a very slight amount unsheath it, like a tiny bit, just so I can
Okay.
see like the immediate area around me.
You kind of just for a second like pull it out and you put it back, and there's just I mean, it's mainly you're just in a dirt hole, and to your left you can see just the edge of the opening just a few feet ahead of you, and then across from you you can just barely make out the forms of your friends on the other side, about five feet away from you. So, almost arm's reach, but it feels like a long way, given the number of goblins you hear scuffling in the room beside you.
Well, I sheathe the sword entirely, and then I just.
Can I go with him?
Go for it.
Are you just gonna go for it? Okay.
Just gonna
that's
go for
That's
it.
up to you,
All right.
because I mean, again, he can't see other than that
Yeah.
immediate vicinity around him. You kind of see him like looking. That's up to you if you want to.
Do you want me to guide you?
I think you should. I think it's probably best.
It's
All
your
right.
call. All right.
Lead the way.
Do I have to roll anything, or can we just
Yep,
run for our lives?
I need you to go ahead and roll a stealth check if you're trying to cross
Okay.
stealthily.
And that's the 20 again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I got a 20.
But you have to
I
roll
got-
disadvantage.
I got an 18. Wait, hold on. What's my other number?
So you got an 18, you said?
I rolled an 18, but I don't know what my other.
So you get a plus
thing
2, so you get a 20 on that.
Oh, so I got 20.
Okay. What
I
is
got a 7 on the disadvantage.
All right. So you see him beginning to like about to make a bad step, and Mercy, you start to trip, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And then quickly, Bate comes, grabs you, and quickly like
I got you, boo.
got you right across. You do hear like a like as apparently a goblin may have seen something. It sounds like they may be coming to check out what's going on.
I am readying a dagger on the side of that opening
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, and it looks like it's just me left.
Selena and Ness are both still.
Oh, is Nesta? Oh, I thought
Yep.
you'd gone across. Sorry.
Nope, it's just the two of you guys. What are you doing? Both of you roll me a perception check real quick.
Not that I can see anything.
14 total.
11 total.
So Ness, it's just a very dim light they have in there. They've got some sort of like light or lantern or very small fire, but
Sure.
it's enough that you can just see the outline of this shadow, of this small figure kind of making its way. It's difficult to tell how far away it is, but it's definitely getting close.
Okay. If we're gonna go, we need to go now.
Yeah, I think we need to be quick because that thing's coming, and if we don't want to start something, we need
Well,
to.
let's stop talking about it and let's go.
Yep, let's go.
All right, both of you guys roll a stealth check.
16 total.
Okay.
Nine.
Okay. Do any of you speak Goblin by chance?
Nope.
Anybody?
Take a look.
Okay. So as the two of you cross, Ness, you move just very quickly across. Selena, you also make it across, but just right after Ness does, and it seems like maybe just the timing attracted attention. But suddenly you hear like a like as this voice seems to be kind of calling out towards you slightly. Aaron kind of leans around. He says, "Oh shit." Says, he tries his best. Here, let me roll a deception check for him real quick, because he does speak Goblin. All right, let's see how well the Goblin rolls. So you guys hear him kind of like around the corner, and the Goblin pauses for a second, and then Selena and Ness, you hear him kind of like bark another question and keep coming. At this point, he is literally right around the corner from you. What are you guys doing?
Can I use my special equipment thing? Oh, wait, no, actually, never mind, because no.
Which one? I mean, you can certainly try. The ring?
Yeah, I was going to say, can I turn myself into a goblin, but I can't speak goblin.
Where can I can't find the languages. I can't remember.
Bottom left of the main page of your character sheet.
Oh, thank you.
Under proficiency.
So
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to open up your sheet real quick, Selena. Let me double check.
Don't speak
So
Goblin.
I can't, yeah,
You
I
certainly
can't
can't speak Goblin.
Yeah, I can't speak goblin, but I could possibly turn myself into one.
So,
I don't think that's a good idea though, because I can't. It's not useful.
So
That's why I changed my mind.
Blah blah blah. Spell. So the duration of the spell lasts for 3 hours. If you
3
cast it.
Well, I have charm person.
So you certainly could turn into a goblin. You'd be, because you're so ridiculously tall though. You would look like so you can adjust your height
Yeah.
a little bit based on, and like maybe change your posture a bit to mimic that of a goblin. But even still, you'd probably be a good bit bigger than another goblin. But it's certainly
Yeah, no,
certainly
I've
doable.
changed my mind. No,
Okay.
because I can't speak goblin. I just literally have to stand in front of them and say nothing. So.
I can imitate the sounds of one. I don't know what I'm saying, but I can
I mean, we
sound
can
like
do it
them.
together.
I could stand right behind you.
So what?
Does anyone else have any other ideas?
I have charm person.
Does that work on
Yeah.
goblins?
Does it? It says you charm a humanoid. Does that count?
It does count technically. So and just to be so that you guys know, so charm person essentially allows you to charm someone. What is the duration on charm person? Is it an hour?
1 hour.
It's 1 hour. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. So
I'm not too much.
Is there any tiny stones or anything like that around my feet?
yeah, there's quite a few.
So my idea would be to pick up a stone and try to stealthily throw it into the chamber as far as I can to try to make a noise so they turn around and go back the other way.
I can do that with thaumaturgy without.
Okay,
having
that
to,
works too. Thank you.
But I would rather just ready my crossbow to shoot that thing before it can make noise.
The other idea, and I don't want to.
stealthily kill it.
I didn't want to. Yeah, we could, but that could also alert the rest of them
Right,
in the
well,
room.
whatever we're doing, we need to act
That's
quick because that thing is on its way.
The other idea I had is you have an unseen servant, but I wouldn't. My character personally wouldn't know that, so I can't really give that idea.
Like
Except
you
for
just did.
in a roundabout way, like I just did at a gaming mother.
Yeah, I'm allowing it this time because it's our first adventure in a dangerous
I mean,
place.
I did think about it, but what is that servant?
You could have it do because I believe the unseen servant can pick up things or do things. You could have it go into the room and make a noise at the back of the room. Is what I was thinking.
Start running around.
But yeah,
Do we want to do that?
so I don't know. It's up to you guys.
I'm fine with that, or I can charm it for an hour, but I don't know how long we're gonna be here. I mean, after an hour, we're done then.
I mean, if we charm them, we can lure them away at least to a point where we can then
Well, I mean,
assassinate them, kill them. Yeah.
Either that or idea. Okay, you charm them because we can maybe carry them away, and then I can charm it later on, and then we can try and get some information out of him.
I'm down for that.
Aaron speaks Goblin.
All right. We'll try. Plus,
Seems dangerous. Let's go.
Charm this. Let's charm this fella.
Okay.
I'm still gonna have my
Who-
crossbow readied.
Yeah.
If that
So-
dagger's
I always
still
have
out,
my
yeah.
Like 10 people get ready to do something as Bate pops around the corner, just you just barely see the edge of the goblin just crossing into your view. You're casting charm, so I've got to make a save. Do you know what the DC is? Can somebody check that for me? Do you know for what her DC was? I think it's 13 for her or 14.
My wisdom hit
Oh.
DC is 13
Okay.
for a charmed person.
Okay.
I guess yeah, for all of them.
So goblins are not super wise. Let me see real quick. Oops. Minus. What did you say it was? 13?
Yeah, wisdom 13.
Yeah. It appears to not have any effect at this point. And he kind of like sees him shake and he seems confused for a second as he steps around the corner and suddenly sees
Okay, Ness, get ready. We crossbow.
7 non-goblins standing in the middle of the tunnel there. So you I think
would like to
Ness
shoot him.
readied his action first. So Ness, you go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead and take your shot.
Well,
That is a 19 plus 4, so 23.
Okay. I was just rolling really well tonight. I'm pretty proud of myself. I rolled it with disadvantage because
must be nice.
yeah. What'd you say the
Tell me
total was?
about it.
24 to hit.
23.
23. Yep, it hits.
Okay.
And I don't think you can do. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, he's down.
Yeah, I
You're
don't
good.
have any- Okay.
He's dead.
It was an
I'm
8.
gonna grab his body Can I attempt to grab his body and pull it out of the opening?
Yeah. So as he kind of steps around the corner to you guys, the bolt goes in his throat, just kind of catches there, and he kind of just falls forward towards you guys. And you grab his body and move it out of the way. Yeah, that's definitely a thing you can do. None of the other goblins seem the wiser so far. How
We
far
should
you?
keep going.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
good time to
let's
go.
get moving.
Going.
You
Yeah.
just taking this goblin body with you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Fits right
Leaving a
towards his
trail
fella.
of blood directly to where we're headed, so that's good.
Is there somewhere we can stash it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Eventually, we'd stash it. side hallway or something like that? Or
I mean, there are as you go, there's a
nooks
couple
and crannies?
like there are a couple little areas that look like they started to be dug out, and then they either ran into like some stone or something, and they just decided to
Okay, I'm
halt
gonna
it.
set his body in there and have it like
Okay.
sitting down and look like he's sleeping, like that goblin that was sleeping previously.
Okay.
So
Okay. Very good.
Good look.
make sure to break off the bolt or take out the bolt before
Okay.
we leave the body.
Very good. Yep. That is what is done. You see this kind of crumpled but like kind of like sleeping goblin body, kind of shoved into a small crevice there. Yeah. So with that, you guys make your way through this section and you come up to another turn as you guys begin to descend another level lower. At this point, I mean, there are occasional like little tunnels off to the side. But Aaron peeks around. The rooms mainly appear to be empty at this point. And as you guys get to this next level, it widens up even more. And you guys come to your first new opening on the left of where you are now. Is it still Aaron and Ness up front, or what are you guys doing?
So far.
Okay.
So I don't see any reason not to.
Okay, very good. Yep. So you see an opening coming up on your left.
Okay. I'd like to, I mean, I'm looking to Aaron. He seems to be the kind of one leading the way. So I've never been in a goblin den before.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like the den or if it's just another little thing. Like, I don't know what I'm looking for. I just know that I got sharp eyes.
Yeah, as you guys kind of look, like he sees a few more. He points out, dude, there's a few more openings further down the tunnel. He says, I think we're on the bottom level. He says we need to be extra careful. This is where they're going to keep most of their valuables. This is going to be where the king is located. Just we gotta carefully make our way through here. Preferably as quietly as possible. He kind of looks back over his shoulder at everybody, a little disapprovingly.
Sure.
But says I think we should try and, if possible, either clear or avoid the rooms as we go. But at the same time, if we end up having to kill the king, we don't want surprises coming up behind us. So I'll leave that decision up to you. And with that, so Tortang, are you still having the snake riding on your shoulder to guide you? Or is there any light coming from you guys? Mercy, I assume you've pulled your sword back out for this.
I don't know what she did with her snake, in all honesty.
Yeah, Dragathiel, is your snake still riding on Tortang?
Now that we're all together, I am putting him away.
Okay, you're dismissing him?
Yes.
Very good. So you guys come up to this opening, and he just kind of like looks back at you, Ness. With the both of you, or actually, who are the two up front other than Aaron? It's Ness and who wants to be next?
Well, I was with Ness, so.
Okay. So Ness and
cross
Selena,
that
roll
out.
me a perception check real quick. See what you can see or hear in this next room.
17 total.
Okay.
$19.
19. Okay. As you guys kind of quickly make your way against the ledge there and lean around, you see, in fact, so you guys can actually put yourselves on the map here now. Boom. So you see kind of a couple goblins in the room just ahead of you. You only see 2 at the moment, but you do notice there are 3 bedrolls there. Kind of these little, a lot of the goblins seem to either like to sleep straight on the ground or they have a small mat to sleep on of some sort. But as you look in, there's like actually a little table and chairs. Almost, it looks like they've just been acquiring things from the locals as they've been going raiding. I mean, they're really crappy older chairs and tables that probably nobody really misses, but you do get the sense that definitely they've been here for a hot minute and have been gathering supplies for a while. So you just see the 2 of them kind of over there. They're sitting on the ground, kind of cross-legged across from each other, apparently like playing some weird goblin game that doesn't, as you watch, it doesn't make much sense to you. They're like throwing little stones back and forth, but they're apparently trying to pass the time. So what are you guys doing?
I mean, that does us no good, right? We're looking for the king.
Are you going to tell us how many are in there, or?
Yeah.
No, I did.
Well, no, I'm talking about the people that are.
If there's just 2.
It would be
how-
nice if I could answer the question of what I'm gonna do without it having to be immediately report to you, and have a conversation maybe with the person that also saw it for just a second, if that's okay.
There was a 3-second pause and nobody said anything. So
Sorry, I was thinking. Sorry.
I was literally in the middle of words and was interrupted.
So what do you want to do?
You think it's odd? They've, these things come in and ransack places, kill people. Everybody says they're so evil, but they're taking people's furniture and playing games. That doesn't seem right to me.
No, it seems like something else is going on here. Like, it just doesn't seem right. But what do you want to do about it? Do you want to kill them like we did with that other one, or?
No.
They
They're
do
not
look
doing
pretty
anything to
peaceful.
us. I don't see the virtue in walking into someone's home and murdering them in the middle of children's games.
Aaron kind of
Yeah.
leans into you guys. He says, "You do realize these are goblins, right? It's like some races are just born bad."
But look at them.
Do you
Then
think,
they don't
do you-
look bad.
Do you
Says,
think
well,
that
they-
about me?
Says, "No, I'm not thinking about you," but he says, "Everything looks innocent when it's just playing." He says, "Have you never seen them eat somebody?"
No.
Well, I have, and it's been right after they played a game like that.
I mean, is there anything in here that we need? Do we need to disturb them?
So I'll leave that up to you guys if you think you can sneak by. But again, if we get into a fight later and we have a bunch more coming down on top of us, that's going to be less than ideal.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I agree with Aaron.
I think we should kill him.
I think we should kill him because if we get into a fight, I mean, then we don't know if we have to escape this way. And if we know that these two goblins are between us and the exit, or worse, they come up behind us. I don't know.
Or they see us or hear the upcoming battle, they can always run back to up top and alert all the people up there as well. So if we take them out now, we don't have to worry about any of that.
I mean, we'll take them out quick.
I just have a weird feeling that there's something else going on here. Like maybe they're not as evil as we think, and
Goblins are pretty evil.
maybe these ones aren't. They have wands. Like,
If you're hired to hunt goblins, you're gonna have to get used to killing goblins.
okay.
Aaron kind of leans back to Tortang. He says, "You want to try that thing we did last time?"
Yeah, I can do that. Sure.
All right. So who all's actually okay with killing the goblins? Because he's essentially kind of waves you guys over, and he kind of quickly crosses to the other side of the tunnel, looking down, and you see him like ready his little hand crossbows.
And I pull out my dagger.
Okay. He says, I'll go for the one on the right first."
Sure.
Says, and he looks to the two of you and says, if we miss somehow, says you need to get in there. So at this point, Tortang, if you want to roll to hit, and you will get. Oh wait, I've got my dice. You will get advantage on this because they are 1 unawares and 2 sitting.
Well, I'm at disadvantage anyways, so it's
Oh,
just
that's
a
right, 'cause
straight
you
roll.
can't see. So it'll be.
So it's
straight.
a 24 or 22.
Okay,
to hit.
22. Very good. Okay. Yep. So both of you managed to hit. I'm pretty sure. Go and roll damage for me real quick.
It was 6 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. And then yes, he's good. So yep, the both of you quickly drop the goblins, and they kind of fall over onto each other, towards the middle there.
Nice.
As you kind of look further into or as he looks further in the room, there he says, "There's another small hole in the back of the room there." Says we might want to take a quick look. I don't know where that goes. He kind of sneaks into the room, kind of nudges both the bodies, making sure they're dead. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, I'm gonna wait at the entrance.
I'm gonna go into that room where the goblins are.
Can I follow Aaron?
Sure. All right. So who all's in the room right now?
Mercy, I'm in there. Can I see anything in that room besides the dead bodies?
Yeah, as you pull out your rapier again, which is still lit at this point. You look around the room. You do see their bedrolls. You see like behind where they're sitting, like a pile of bones. You can't quite tell without looking closer what they are. And then in the back wall, there's just like a small tunnel. It looks like maybe somebody goblin-sized or slightly larger could fit through it. But it looks like they dug it out, and it seems to go upwards a little bit at a small slope there.
Can I tell if what kind of bones they are?
Roll me a nature check.
Uh, 19.
19, yeah. So it's a mixture of different bones. Like some of it appears to be cattle. You do notice one skull in particular that looks humanoid. It kind of looks elf-like, but it's a little difficult to tell without picking it up and examining it. But it does appear to be some sort of humanoid.
Can I inspect the bodies? See if they found anything?
Yeah. As you look on their bodies, there's nothing particularly of note. Just kind of their usual kind of ratty clothes. The few of them have the both of them have like some little garbage like ornaments like made out of bones or something from like other things they've killed. Other than that, they've got a few little knives on them. Or little daggers, sorry. Oh, I just realized a thing. I realized everybody can see everything when they're looking on my screen on the stream.
Really?
So I'm gonna zoom in a bit there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing, you cheater, make eater.
I missed it.
In any case,
background.
yeah. So those of you who are in the room, can you all roll me a perception check real quick?
Which model's mine?
You're the. Well, no. What color are you on the board? Blue. So this one's yours.
Oh, word.
I color coded them for everybody.
Thank you.
I rolled a 2 plus 2, so 4.
Okay.
14 total.
14 total. Okay.
Oh wait, are we all in the room? I didn't think that we were all
Jess,
in
did you go into the room or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So
I got an 8.
an 8. So is 14 the highest? Tortang, what did you get? Or are you at the?
I'm not in the room.
Oh, you're at the entrance. Okay.
I'm at the entrance.
All right. So with a 14, like just at the last second, you begin to hear like this scruffling noise coming from that small hole in the wall behind you there. As if it sounds like a something is coming through into the room with you guys.
I sort of Mercy is in here, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
with his sword out.
I tap you on the shoulder, Mercy, and I'm like, something's coming through the wall.
I sheathe my
And I look-
sword. Sorry.
I look to Aaron and I say, something's coming through the wall. Maybe we can capture it. Talk to it. Did you hear anything with things?
You were pretty quiet.
Okay, I'll repeat it, but not whispering it. I whisper to Aaron, like, there's something coming through the wall. Can we try to capture it and just talk
okay.
to it?
We can try if you like. They usually don't say much other than expletives and things about eating your genitals, but
If I'm gonna come in here and kill all of these things, I need to know that they're.
he says, "All right,
I
we
need to
got
know that
just."
it's worth it. Okay.
He kind of looks over. He's like, "We've only got a second. What are you capturing it with?"
The bedrolls.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
Bonk it over the head or wrap it up in the bedroll or something. I don't know.
Like a net. We'll just.
So a couple of you guys, the two of you grab a bedroll. Are you just standing on either side of the hole, just waiting for something to poke through?
Yeah, like with it over the
Never
top.
said it was a good plan.
Okay.
It's a plan.
So You guys staying on either side, and kind of everybody else is huddled kind of against the wall, trying to stay out of sight. Like a few moments later, kind of like you see like a gnarled kind of green hand, like a couple of hands kind of go on either side of the wall, and it kind of looks around and it sees its two friends kind of sitting over there on the ground. It goes, as its like head is just poking out a little bit, and it's like climbing its way through. If you guys are gonna attempt to do this, I need you both to roll me essentially be. So I'll let you do athletics or acrobatics, whichever's higher for you.
Acrobatics for me.
Okay.
Total of 15.
15. Okay. And Mercy.
7.
Maybe you should delete that and spawn a new die.
Right.
Spawn a new D20.
You're right.
So with that, you kind of like you go and you try to get it, and it goes and like kind of begins to open its mouth, and then suddenly Ness comes in and you smother him with the blanket. You can hear it kind of like from underneath the blanket there, but you do appear to be able to hold it down. It's not huge or terribly strong. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's okay. So let me undo this so I can see better. But yeah, basically this guy. Yeah, if I can let me grab him. Won't let me grab him. Oh, I locked him. That's why. Boom. So this guy is now in there. These two are both dead. Oh, whatever. Anyways, so you've now got him. You've now got him there. What are you doing?
I look at Aaron and I say, ask him to tell you. I don't know. If they attacked that caravan, if they attacked that wagon that we saw.
Okay, so Aaron just kind of gives a sigh, and he's like, "Oh," and then he kind of you hear a series of like guttural like noises and squeaks coming from him. And the goblin kind of like stops moving for a minute, and it says it responds with it's like he says he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's like,
can me and Tortank hear this conversation? Because obviously we're not in the room.
I mean, at this point, you're probably pretty aware that as you look back,
I would have started after I heard muff. If it did. Well, would we have to make a perception to
no,
do that, all that?
You would have.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I would have started moving towards it.
Yeah, so you know that there's now apparently some goblin type creature captured in a rug, essentially, a bedroll.
Ask him why they have tables and chairs.
He asks him, and the goblin responds. He says that says we've got tables and chairs because why wouldn't we if we can take them?
Is it normal for goblins? I asked this to Aaron. Is it normal for them to have tables and chairs?
He says,
this doesn't sound right.
Some of the more sophisticated ones maybe, but these ones are. I don't know. I'm beginning to think there's a larger outside influence at work here, and I don't know who or what it is, but yeah.
Something is influencing these goblins. Like this isn't normal. Like I've seen goblins before, and this is not normal. There's something going on here, and that's why I'm uneasy.
Sounds like it's influencing them to maybe be more, I hate to say it, but civilized?
Oh, maybe more organized. It's hard to say.
Do they sleep on bedrolls typically?
Not super often, but I have seen it. I've seen it before. Usually not this many in number. So either they're being well supplied by somebody. It'd be a goblin luxury to have a bedroll. So.
Can you ask him where he was coming from and see if he'll answer? I don't think he will, but.
Okay, and he kind of leans down, asks him again. He says the storeroom. Says which means on the other side of that little hole there, that's where they keep all their goodies or things they perceive to be goodies, which is often garbage.
Go ahead.
Can you ask him where they got the wands?
Yep. He leans down. He says, he told me, they got him from the Magic Man.
Magic Man.
Can we check whether he's got a wand on him?
It'll be difficult with him wrapped up in the bedroll, but I'll let you guys.
I mean, yeah.
I'm going to object. You should knock him out first if you plan on searching his person.
Wait, don't knock him out. We need to ask him if the Magic Man is
Ask him
here.
more about ask him more about the Magic Man.
Yes, but I'm just saying, if we search him, we want to knock him out.
Oh, we're gonna knock him out at some point for sure.
He begins hearing all the voices talking above him, and he talks to Aaron. He says, Aaron's like, you see, they're not very bright, and he's beginning to think we aren't goblins playing a trick on him. So maybe like be quiet a second. He says he leans down and is like, and the back and forth goes on for a second. I don't think he's buying it. He wouldn't answer any more questions, but that was a lot more useful than I thought it was going to be. To be fair, so we know somebody's working with him, but I don't know. If I were a magic man, I wouldn't want to live underground, but it's entirely possible. We need to keep our eyes open and make sure there's not a spellcaster down here going to ambush us.
I knocked the goblin out.
Okay. Are you just how are you doing this? You just smacking him on the back of the head? Or are you killing him? What are you doing?
No, I'm not going to kill him because I have a feeling that some party members would be against that. So I'm just going to, on the back of his head while he's rolled up, knock him out. Non-lethal.
Okay. I mean, he's rolled up. It's not difficult. Yeah. You're able to knock him out.
And then I want to stealth through the tunnel that he came through.
Okay.
Can I fit, actually?
That's a goblin size, yeah. You're a 6'5" turtle.
As you guys look around, wait, Bate, how tall are you, for reference?
7, I think, maybe 5'8".
Okay. It looks like out of all of you, maybe Bate can fit, but definitely Dragathiel can fit. The others of you can
5'4", yeah.
The others of you could maybe make it through. It'll just be a little bit of a tight squeeze. Tortang, you don't think it's gonna happen. You think your shell shape might get wedged.
We should
in there.
see what's in the other storeroom, so we don't have any more surprises. Who can stealth through there?
I can do it. Right? I'll fit, right?
Yeah, Aaron looks back. He says, "I think it's got to be either you or." Well, there's only one other person strong enough to make it through, so.
I'm pretty flexible.
Hey, if you want to go for it, Dragathiel.
I can sure try.
Oh God, the person in full plate's gonna go through. This is gonna be great.
Fine, I got this.
They like making you go first.
Yeah. You can make your way through. Are you trying to be sneaky about it, or are you just pushing through?
I'll try to be kind of sneaky.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to like.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be anyone.
Just roll your dice twice and make sure you don't get. Make sure you don't get below a 2.
Oh.
2 total.
Well, it's a good thing I got a 3.
Okay, then. Yeah, you guys hear her like just scraping against the tunnel. You make your
like a cat.
Flexibility.
You make your way through the tunnel. On the other side, in front of you, you just see this huge mound of like mostly garbage. Like you see pots and pans, you see some like bones.
What the crap?
And you see a few other shiny things poking through, like maybe a couple bits of items that like a nice candelabra and like a few other things that look like they were just taken from different places around. Like you recognize them all to be mostly elven things, so you gather all of these things were essentially pilfered from the countryside around you guys, around the country here in Lucinia with Lucina with all the high elves. So at a glance, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. It's a big pile of stuff.
Okay, so
Tay might want to go in there for identifying magic items.
Yeah.
I can follow her.
I'm just gonna wiggle through and call back and be like, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Okay.
What kind of things?
Mostly junk, but there's a few things that might be worth looking at.
Okay.
Also, can I
Yes.
I'd like
Sorry.
to roll.
Can I cast Divine Sense?
You can.
Okay. I would like to do that.
I'm also going to move back towards the entrance of this little tunnel area, just so we don't get surprised.
Okay. So
do I need to be
Although not that I can see anything, but whatever.
You're probably okay now.
Right, okay.
I think it's actually impossible for you to roll low enough. She actually could have rolled enough for something bad happen, but I think you're okay.
Yeah, I'd like to wiggle in there as well.
All right. So
That's okay.
so I'm going in there and
Did I cast my thing?
You did. So let me. I just want to check.
60 feet.
And
Tell me
I'm making
when.
sure there's 60 feet. Yep. You don't sense anything that's especially evil or holy. There doesn't appear to be anything that is especially good or bad in there as far as your divine sense is concerned. But again, that doesn't specifically detect magic items unless they're holy or evil.
Mhm.
So nothing. If there is a magic item in there, it doesn't appear to be good or bad. Yes.
can I cast detect magic?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
there's no celestial fiend or undead.
There does not appear to be at this point, no.
Okay.
Can I try and fit through? I'm 5'8", but I got heavy armor on, so
You're welcome to fit through. So you're casting. So you can make your way through. It's just a little tighter of a squeeze. It takes you probably like almost twice as long to get through, but you can make it through if you want to, Mercy.
I'm gonna start looking through the stuff.
Okay. So Bate, first you were casting detect magic.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty quickly. I mean, there's definitely some magic stuff in this pile. Some of it's stronger than others. You get the sense of kind of generally where it is, and it'll take you guys a few minutes to dig for it. I'll let all three of you guys roll me an investigation check real quick, just to see how long it takes you to dig through.
13 total.
12.
Oh, did you go through as well, Ness?
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
16 and
Investigation.
Mhm.
12.
okay. Well, the highest was 16.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. So first, looking around.
I'm a spicy sloop.
So, so first, Mercy, you're kind of digging around, and you find an item like it's just a handkerchief, but it looks interesting. It's very colorful, and you hold it up to Bate, and she's like, "Yeah, that's magic." And like as you play with it, you realize like, "Oh, look, I can just make it go," and it just extends like infinitely until a few minutes later, it like sucks back up. So it's some sort of endless handkerchief. It appears.
Wow.
Bate,
You take
did-
that to the street, strong pretty boy. I believe.
Bate, as
Well,
you
I point at her. I'm like,
Tonight.
you get me.
Bate, as you dig around it takes you like a couple minutes to find what you're looking for, but you do manage to find 2 potions of healing, and I'll add these things to your inventory, so don't worry about it. Let me put by whose inventory, and this is all up to you guys how you want to divvy it up. And then you find a pouch of poof powder.
Poof powder.
Yeah, which is another thing that I'll add to your inventory.
Okay.
I
Like
picture this
hair?
like ninja thing that you throw at the ground and goes poof.
You're not far off.
Yeah.
It's So then, Ness, as you're digging around, you find pretty quickly an immovable rod. Which, by the way, is one of my favorite D&D items, just because it's awesome.
Right.
That is such
It
a
is
good
awesome.
idea.
What now? Sorry.
An immovable rod.
rod.
It's pretty.
You'll learn about it when you're older. Just don't worry about it.
You can put it anywhere, even in the air, and activate it, and it'll stay there.
Yeah.
Nobody can budge it until the person who owns it turns it off.
Go ahead.
That's cool and all, but really, I just kind of like my dude wanted to go in there to see if he could identify kind of like where this stuff came
Roll me-
from.
also-
if maybe it's stuff from like the village that was attacked. Like I'm trying to sense if.
By
we've
the
been
way,
through-
this stuff is elvish. It's from the surrounding area.
Thanks.
One sec. So, last
You
item.
could ask.
Dragathiel, you find 2 like kind of dark blue shiny stones with like a little spiral engraving and like what feels like a button on them.
Ooh.
And you used identify, right? Or do you no you used okay, maybe not. But they look interesting, and they're definitely magical, as Bate confirms for you. This whole time takes you about
Did magic? Did magic.
and you guys are, and again, you're welcome to mess with them and do whatever you want, but as an item, you probably don't recognize them at this point.
Just gonna put them away.
Okay, very good. So that is it. So So first of all, Ness, you were looking to see where the items came from. If anybody wants to try and figure out what any of the items do, if they don't already know, roll me an Arcana check. But first, roll me a Perception check. Two of you, whoever has the highest perception, two of you roll a Perception check just to take a look around the room real quick.
Mine's +2.
Mine's +4.
Looks like
So
it's
I
you
guess it's
two.
you and me. So I rolled a 13 total.
And I rolled a 17.
Okay. So as you guys
Or
are
I'm sorry, no, 19. I don't know. I added wrong.
So yeah, you now with your sword out, kind of looking through the junk. As you look around, you notice, kind of at the back of the room, you hear from like another small hole that you didn't notice before. Like the sound, it's bigger than the last hole, but it's still a relatively small hole. You hear like the sound of moving water coming from that direction.
Guys, I can hear water. Can I can see the hole, or do I hear it? Because I have my sword unsheathed. So.
Yeah, you can see it at this point, and you point it out, and you can just hear water coming from the other side. Who's from the area actually? So, Drugathiel, you and Bate, can you roll me a history check? Because Selena's not up there.
She's not in there.
Yeah, the two of you roll me a history check real quick.
Can I do something while they're doing that real quick?
Sure.
Tortang's not with us.
Nope.
I am not.
13, 15.
And Tortang are at the entrance because I've just gone to join him.
So, Bate, you, despite your amnesia, decently well know the landscape here, and you gather this is one of the rivers that runs nearby, and it just seems like this is part that actually is cutting underground, and so you gather, you know, it comes out on the other side somewhere.
Can I let everyone know that?
Yeah. So she kind of relays to you guys that there's essentially part of this small river that is apparently kind of running underground here. And that's about all you're able to relay from that.
Hearing
Mercy.
the water.
Yep.
Hearing the water, does it sound like approaching water, or water that's like just like faintly like running like?
It sounds
babbling?
like it sounds like babbling. It's not like it's not like rapids, but you can just hear just faintly this like the nice little running water down there.
So then I relay that like almost to confirm that hey, I can hear water through the gap over there. How big's the hole?
I mean, it's a little bigger than the other one.
So I'll fit.
Yeah, you can fit pretty. Even Tortang could probably fit. It's just gonna be to get him.
I just can't get there.
Yeah, to get up there. To get up there, you'd have to
What's Aaron doing?
butter him up and squeeze him through. What was the question?
What's Aaron doing right
He's kind of just like standing by the hole, and like what he's like glancing between, like he's every now and then he's checked in with you guys just to make sure everything's okay. It's like, did you find anything cool?
He's so awkward.
Yeah.
That depends. Is a really colorful, infinitely increasing scarf cool?
No.
Well,
Only if you're Dr. Who.
that's objectively wrong. Anyways, I'm gonna go check and see what that water deal is about.
Okay.
Okay, Mason, I'm gonna message you a question.
Okay. Very good. On Discord, I assume.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's a yes. Okay.
So I'm gonna squeeze through that hole. I'm gonna go towards the sound of the water.
Okay.
I'm gonna do so though, like a little hesitantly, with like my light sword sheathed a little bit, so the light's reduced.
Okay.
I'm assuming I then like it's equally as dark in the cave, like in that tunnel.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty dark down there for sure. You can't see except for just a little bit ahead of you due to the light. So you guys kind of, without words, see like Mercy kind of like shuffle in as his legs begin to dangle out of this tunnel. It's a slightly downward slope, so it's not like a hard going or anything. But yeah, you're making your way down. It looks like you can see what you think is like a small opening ahead, maybe 10 feet ahead of you.
Do I does it take like so what do I see like when I get through there?
What do you see when you get through?
Yeah.
So as you get closer to the bottom, your face is coming very close to what you now recognize to be the water that you spotted before. As you kind of reach out with your sword. You kind of poke the bottom, and it's only like a couple, like 1 or 2 feet deep, right where you are. But it does appear.
So does the water the water has filled this tunnel to a certain degree? So like it appears that I would like continue underwater from there to get through the tunnel, or does the tunnel open up?
From where you are, it's difficult to say. Like there's only like you would have to kind of crouch. There's only a couple feet of like. If you were standing, you'd have to bend down a bit. Where you are, the water could get deeper ahead. It's really difficult to tell from where you're standing right now.
I crawl back,
okay,
back to the main room, and I pull out that scarf and ask, can one of you guys hold this end for me?
Let me send you that item real quick. But basically, I'll read it to you so that you know roughly how it works. It's nothing crazy. Homebrew, my creations. I love D&D Beyond for this, by the way. It's like my favorite thing. Endless handkerchief. Okay.
I love that.
A brilliant multicolored handkerchief that, when pulled apart, lengthens seemingly endlessly. The cloth begins to shorten to its original size 10 minutes after initially being lengthened. If it begins to shorten and is tied on both ends, one or both ends will magically unknot themselves. If the cloth is torn or cut completely, it will become a normal but still very colorful handkerchief. Partial tears might be mended.
Can you repeat that last part again?
Which last part? So if it gets partially torn, you can probably fix it, but if somebody like cuts it in half while it's like lengthened, it'll just turn into a regular handkerchief. But still very colorful.
Will one of you tie one of this end of the scarf around your waist? I'm gonna investigate. There's some water on the other side of this tunnel, but it's hard for me to see. I figured, at the very least, this is a
How about I tie it to my immovable rod?
That's yes. I'm in love with the plan.
Oh,
very good plan.
All right, very good.
What
I'm gonna
you're
go ahead
saying
and add
is
these
you're
things.
tying it to your rod.
Tie it to my rod.
All right, let me get on that
Hang
rod.
on tight.
All right, so you guys
Grip onto that thing.
you guys managed to kind of knot this handkerchief around the rod, which is now kind of suspended in the air. He kind of gives it like a yank in the it doesn't move, but the cloth continues to extend a little bit as he like purposefully pulls on it. Yeah, look, it seems like it'll work.
do you need to be super athletic for this?
Who's to say?
But I am very athletic. If that's
Are you? Okay, good.
I'm very athletic.
Just a little concerned because so far you haven't shown us miracles, but I believe in you.
I believe in this scarf.
I believe in this rainbow scarf. Yes, I do.
I dive through the hole at full speed.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So you go sliding down into the basically like a slip and slide now
Wow.
into this water, and you do kind of like at the bottom, your hands reach the bottom, and you're kind of a couple feet deep. Ahead of you, there's a small like I assume you have your sword out at this point to see. There's a small like basically where the rock is hung down, but the water you can tell is going under it. But to pass there, you're gonna have to go underwater a little bit.
Take a big ass deep breath.
Okay.
And I dive.
Okay. Yeah, it's literally maybe 3 or 4 seconds later, you come up on the other side, and in front of you, let's see.
God. Oh God.
Boop, 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 boop. Let me just put this here. So I didn't actually spawn these little people in. But in front of you, you surface, and in front of you, as you're holding your sword up, you see like 3 women, standing like and turning back at you, seemingly very surprised that somebody's emerging from the water behind them. And they appear to be they appear to be like some sort of elven woman.
Do they appear scared or aggressive?
They appear incredibly tired, and while they are definitely surprised, they're not they're not like super scared seeing a human come out of the water. They're a little frightened as they back up towards the wall, but they're not like screaming or anything at this point.
I in common first. Can you guys understand what I'm saying?
They kind of look at each other and they kind of give a nod and then like hold up a finger to their mouths for you to be quiet.
How did you guys get here?
They all look around a bit and they say we were captured by the goblins, the one in particular, and all three of them, by the way, look very similar to each other. Roll me a perception check.
I have a question.
Yeah.
From our side, since we don't know what's going on, am I allowed to use my little aminal again?
Absolutely, yeah. You can go ahead
And make it like a fish.
You can make it just about any small creature you want. Yeah.
21.
21.
I'm gonna make it a marine iguana.
Okay.
That's right.
I love that.
Yes, basically a marine lizard kind of then appears and scurries down the hole. So at this point, Mercy, you
Okay, guys, I
see-
can't hear you. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So you send it right after him?
Yeah, I'm like, I want to know what's happening.
So first of all, Mercy, with a 21, you immediately realize, oh, there's a lizard behind me now.
Oh, hey.
And it's just kind of like
Hi.
Didn't trust me, did you?
like just staring at you.
Is it glowing too?
It depends. Like it doesn't have to glow. But is it glowing?
Just a tiny bit, but
bit.
not enough to draw attention.
Oh, okay, right. Like most lizards. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you look
Like
back
your
and
average avatar lizard.
yeah, you look back and you're like, oh, okay. Like you realize what's going on.
That glowing lizard almost did not draw my attention.
Almost. But yeah, as you take a look at all of these women, they're all about medium height, like somewhere between like 5'6" and 5'9". They're like, again, all female, all elven, potentially half elven, pale skin, blonde hair. They look very similar to Bate as you look at them.
Look, I came here with a group of people, with a team to help kind of get to the bottom of this whole goblin situation. But I have a distinct feeling that we should probably get you out of here. Would you mind coming with me?
Oh, good, guys. He figured it out.
Thank God.
Over on the other side. Guys, I think he's like trying to tell them what we're here for, but they're prisoners. This isn't the time. What is he doing? Oh, no. He's getting them out. We're good. He's saving them.
Aaron kind of held up the hole. He's like,
I don't know this is happening. Don't
No,
give
he
me that
says-
sass
he
voice.
says, what are you guys doing up there? What's going on?
I can't hear his question. I can't see.
Apparently Mercy found a hole and dove into it like an idiot, and according to this one, has found some prisoners. I'm not really sure.
Okay, well that's
So
odd.
they're elvish ladies, guys. They're real. They look familiar. Huh.
Is he-
you roll me a perception check there, Dragathiel, to see if you notice.
Okay. I don't notice nothing.
Yep. You're like, oh, there's some ladies down there. I don't know.
I think I need a
Hey,
new
ladies.
dice. I rolled another one.
You should delete it and get another one then, I think. Yeah.
How do I do that?
Dice jam.
Throw it off the table.
Just
That's what I
fuck it.
did.
I can't delete things.
If you throw it off the table, it will actually respawn in the middle of the table.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, just select it and press delete or hover over and press delete.
It
But yes.
won't let me push delete.
Oh, that's right, because you don't let me. I didn't give you permissions. Don't worry about it. I'll handle it in a second. So yeah, so they kind of Mercy
Just
as
put 'em all
you
over
ask them
here.
like to get you out of there. They're like, to where did you even come from?
On the other side of this, under this water, there's a tunnel, and there's like a storage chamber we're currently residing in. It's safe. We at least for now, the threats have been eliminated.
But if
It'll give you at least some space, but also you might be able to help us in this situation, and we can get you out of here.
Well, they kind of look at each other, and the other one pipes up, and like she kind of looks back, and they all become quiet for a second, as like there's footsteps approaching this door that's in front of their little area there, and they there's like a banging on it as like a goblin voice like like, and they don't, yeah, you can just barely see like as it's like trying to peek over, like see what they're doing. Is apparently they've just kind of commandeered a door from somewhere else and have fixed it here to like keep them in place. So it's not quite goblin height, but he's apparently upset that they're making noise.
Well, as soon as I immediately hear that noise, I sheathe my sword.
Okay.
And I turn around to the iguana, and I motion like, because it's glowing, right? It's visible.
Like as you put your light out, you can just barely see it. Kind of like when you see like a tiny bit of moonlight reflect off the water. It's not like super obvious, but
right. Okay.
It wouldn't be like noticeable from the other side of a door, especially one they can't see directly into.
I still can I hear the goblin fumbling with the door or not? I mean, is it just trying to peer above it?
At this point, it was banging on the door, telling him to be quiet. You can't tell anything else.
So then I just stay very still.
Yeah, at this point, everybody's being quiet.
I just wait.
And a few minutes later, you hear just kind of a grunt, and you hear footsteps fading away back a little further away.
I think you should come with me.
But if we're not here, won't they kill us if they find us?
Well, considering they didn't block off this path, I don't think they know it's there. They won't know where to look.
But one of them just kind of marches forward and immediately follows you into the water, like kind of grabbing the handkerchief and pulling herself along. The other two are kind of hesitant. But roll me a persuasion check, real quick.
So we may be bringing back 4 people.
There's 3.
Just a heads up. Total.
Oh, yeah.
I can count. Okay.
Just wanted to see one thing.
What'd you get?
No, I was just looking at my
I know. Nobody else knows, BS.
His reflection.
And will my reflection
Did you succeed on your check?
I decided not to do that. So I just rolled.
Did you roll and decide not to do it, or did you decide not to do it?
No, I decided not to do it.
Okay. So just a persuasion, yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's 23.
Okay, 23. That's pretty damn good still. Yeah. So they look at each other for a second, and then they kind of follow you into the water and begin ascending the handkerchief as they briefly duck under, and you guys come up on the other side. The three of them kind of look to you as you approach the tunnel. They can all see, and they're like, in this small hole.
Yep.
And they kind of
in Elvish, because I can speak Elvish. You can trust me.
He says, well, we can't trust much anyone else around here, so. And they all kind of and the rest of you guys in the room there who are in the storage room there, you see like 3 half-elven ladies up here.
Once they are out of the water and like safely with us, my iguana goes back into my earring.
Oh, okay, very good.
I just look them over real quick to make sure are they injured, or are they?
They don't appear to be injured. They appear to be very tired, but they don't even appear to be necessarily malnourished. They seem okay.
Can I signal to Bate to approach? Bate, I could be wrong, but you guys bear a very similar resemblance to one another. Does this? Can you tell me more? I mean, I'm not crazy, right?
Can I do another perception check?
I can't deny it, but I don't know them. Can I go talk to them?
Maybe we should all regroup, because we have people at the top still waiting for us who have no idea what's going on, and now we've added 3 more people who are going to have to. I mean, the way back up is just as scary as down here.
All right, let's
When
get
and
everyone.
I also, when I was in there, there's a so in the chamber that they were in, there's a doorway, and clearly they were being held captive. Just just kind of like a FYI, there's more to this cavern on the other side of that water than we think. So, and we almost got caught, just for the sake of information. So it's equally as unsafe over there.
I'm just saying I'm not saying that it's. The point is we have these hangers on now, and I'd like to be able to talk to them, but I think we all need to be together to figure out how we're going to get them out of here. Because these, no offense, ladies, but you don't seem like you're really in a state to handle yourself if these goblins did decide to hurt or harm us in some way.
They kind of look at each other. We know a little bit of magic, but not obviously not enough to keep us from being here.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe we how now, brown cow? Maybe we meet back up with the others up in the next room and figure out what our next move is.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. So then,
While we're walking,
you guys are you guys all gonna crawl up
through?
Okay. So finally, Tortang and Selena, after what seems like a long time, but it's really only been about 15 minutes or so, which again, in a goblin's den feels like a very long time.
Rod.
All right, so you grab your movable rod. Let me go ahead and put that in your inventory real quick while we're talking about this.
I grab it too.
Ooh. We're both holding on to my immovable rod.
Giggity.
Giggity. All right.
Oh no.
So, now, Tortang and Selena and Aaron, you see all your party members come through this hole, and then suddenly, what appears to look like 3 more Bate-looking figures following closely behind. Similar age, similar height, shape, eye and hair color. Like they're very, very similar.
Oh, well, this is interesting.
I said that there was something going on here. Ness was right.
I telepathically ask the 3 girls if they know who I am and shake their heads yes or no, or if they know me.
They all kind of look at you, and they all kind of give like a slight like
Gotcha.
no. But yeah, they're all kind of standing in this. They look at you guys. Would we not have been safe? And
I think they.
Hey, what kind of magic do you guys do?
What
My chances at healing.
I know a bit. One of them pipes up, and the other two is like, I do a bit with nature magic, and I believe she sets things on fire occasionally, but not. None of us are especially practiced. But why do you ask?
Well, I'm just thinking of where the safest place will be for you.
If you guys want to join us, we are going to go kill the Goblin King. If you don't want to join us, I think the safest place probably would be back where that horde of loot is.
Can I just grab Ness and Bate to the side for a second?
Okay.
While this conversation's like going on with the elves.
Okay, sure.
Just what you was talking about earlier, Ness, about there's something going on here. I don't know about you two, but I feel like Bate might be connected to this somehow. Like they look really familiar.
But
I'd like to know how they got here. Everyone says they're evil, they're senseless, they're stupid, they don't take prisoners, and there's 3 here?
where's Aaron?
Aaron, he's at this point, he's kind of back watching the entrance, as he's gotten a little impatient with how long this has taken so far.
So is this now?
Oh, you're cutting out, Sam.
Oh yeah, you're cutting out. Sorry.
Now?
Oh, I can hear you now. You're just a little. Maybe just turn yourself up just a wee bit. Might just.
Ooh, ice cream.
I have to figure out how to do that. I'll just talk louder.
Yeah, you're fine.
Or just swallow your mic.
Yeah, let's. Are we still trying to find the Goblin King, or are we trying to get out of here with these ladies? Has the objective changed, or what are we doing?
I think one way or another, we need to find whoever's behind this bizarre behavior. Everybody, this is what I don't understand. Everybody says this is unusual. Everyone says this is strange. Everyone says this is weird, and yet we're just going to go in there and just kill things because that's what we always do. That doesn't make any sense to me. I need to make this to make sense. Like prisoners, sure, but why? We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they were caught trying to come in here and do the same thing. Maybe
Let's
these
ask them how
evil
they got
things are
here.
showing some. I need to know why this is happening.
Okay. So you guys have gone off to the side and had this conversation. In the meantime, for the others of you, could Tortang, Mercy, and Dragathiel, can you guys roll me a perception check real quick?
Of course.
Natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, that goblin is waking back up, by the way.
Question.
Do you want to punch him?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just gonna knock him out again? All
I
right.
think that's for the best.
Roll me just a d20 real quick. I just want to. He's been knocked out a couple times now. He's getting hit in the head a
A little
lot.
bit of brain damage.
Yeah. What'd you get?
13.
Okay. Yeah. You hit him a little harder than you mean to. He is knocked out, but he is definitely you might have heard.
Yeah, some run saving throws.
Little cerebral spinal fluid dripping out of his
Yeah,
ears.
he's got a little bit of cerebral crackage going on there. Yeah. Yeah. So he's back out again. So
All
the
right,
three.
I'm gonna ask the ladies how they got here.
Dead once they find him anyways, so...
Well, we were all taken from surrounding villages, and they brought us here, and then briefly a man, a human, came to see us, and he seemed to not approve, and then we were left in that cell.
What did this human look like?
He was a little older, middle-aged maybe. He had like a salt and pepper beard, balding a bit on top. I don't know. We only saw him for a moment. He just gave us a look over, and we appeared to not be who he was looking for.
So that's what you mean by didn't approve? Like he was looking for someone and you weren't it?
Yes, the goblins appeared to be wanting to trade us for something. And
Something or someone?
well, I don't really know. They brought us here, and he did seem to give them something for their efforts of capturing us, and I don't know if they're keeping us around as backups or but we've been here. They have fed us, not well, but they appear to be keeping us alive for some reason. I don't know. They appear to worry about our deaths and want us to make sure that if we can be traded for something, for that. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just extrapolating. We've only been able to talk so much.
When you say you were like rounded up from surrounding villages, where they attacked your villages, or
Well, she kind of looks at one of them and she says she was taken on the road, and the other two of us were our families were attacked. Yes.
Off the road, were you riding in a wagon with I described like the wagon that we saw out there on the road.
She pipes up. She says, "No, I was alone. I was on a horse. Just between. I was going to the market."
Guys, I think we need to either keep moving or need to get these ladies to safety. We need to make a choice.
Was there any? I mean, I'm assuming in the storeroom, you described it. There wasn't any kind of food or rations or anything like that. Right?
No, mainly things like trinkets and shinies is mainly what was in there. But you gather they probably have a separate place for food.
Sure. I mean, I've got I've got a day's rations, and I offer it to them, and I say,
Okay.
I think where we came from in that storeroom, it's dark, it's quiet. They don't seem to know, that there's that exit, or you can take this food and at least have something better to eat than they've been feeding you and go back to the cell. It doesn't matter to me, but I think until we've cleared this out and made sure it's safe, you're better off being on your own while we figure out what's happening here. Not that I don't think you handle yourself, but we're already kind of loud enough as it is.
That is completely fine with us. We're not exactly armed at the moment, so and we'll fall back for now. Do you know how long we should wait?
We'll definitely come back for you.
Come get you.
Have you seen how large this level is? I mean, do you know anything about how many other rooms there are, how many goblins we might see, or anything like that? Because that's really going to depend.
Well,
I mean, if there's another 30 levels to this place, then I don't know. But...
No, I know there are a few more rooms here. Just down the way. The king is not far because he wanted to keep us close as he considered us valuable, I assume.
Do you know where the king is?
Well, we briefly glimpsed him. He wanted to look us over before the magic man came, and as he did, he retreated into a room just down the hall, not far from where we were kept. There were more rooms, but we didn't get to go in any of them.
Gotcha.
Then it shouldn't be long.
Should we go forward towards the king?
I think so.
Can everyone fit?
Yeah, we'd be going on to the main.
Well,
tunnels
yeah,
again.
yeah, back up to the...
Because me and Tortan can't fit through that other hole.
All right.
Unless you want to slather me in butter.
Not unless I'm gonna fry
Don't
you up.
tempt me with a good time.
The at this point the one of them kind of speaks up. She says, I might could help a bit with the tunnel. If that's where you would like to go. But that
How
is
so?
That
I don't think we should disturb the tunnel if we want to. If these guys are going to be staying here, we want everything to look hidden still. So I think we need to go the main way, because otherwise we're going to give them away.
But we know that the king is really close to the prison cell, or the holding room. It would save us time. And we have,
Right.
and they're familiar with that part of the cave.
I think we're going back to the question of do we take a shortcut, or do we clear everything out room by room?
I would vote we clear everything out room by room because we don't want any surprises.
I vote that as well, because we want to keep these ladies safe as well.
I've
If we're
gone
going
through
to,
dungeons before. When you leave things behind, other than what we did upstairs, it tends to bite you in the ass.
Let's just carry on, go back up to the top, clear out the rooms until we find this king.
Okay. At least we have an escape route.
all right. So with that, the three ladies kind of looked tentatively over their shoulders one last time before they, one at a time, crawled back.
I'm gonna hand one of them one of my daggers off my belt.
Okay.
And say, just in case.
Just in case you need this. Pointy end goes toward the bad guy.
Thank you. I know how to work a dagger. But
This
again,
guy doesn't.
I appreciate it.
I'm also going to ask them to be ready for when we come back to widen the tunnel if we need it as fast as possible as an escape route.
The one says, all right, I'll not much else for me to do. I'll be waiting. All right. So the three of them, we'll go and get you out of here. Boom. So these three guys, girls, ladies, going back in the tunnel there, or back in the storage room there. Leaving the rest of you alone, Aaron kind of was like, all right, I got to check this room real quick. You guys go on ahead. I'll be right there.
what room is he checking?
Are you muted, Rain? Because you're...
No.
Okay.
I said check which room?
He says, I just wanted to
Check which room?
I just
Why
wanted
am
to
I
check
so
the
quiet?
wanted to check the bodies of these goblins one more time.
Okay, I'm going to
I'll
stay.
help you.
with Aaron, yeah.
We do have one other issue, by the way. We have the guy knocked out back over there, but if he wakes up while we're not near him, that could be bad.
Kill him.
If we're gonna kill them all anyway, if that's the plan, I mean, I thought we're going back and forth here. If we're gonna clear these rooms and kill everything, or if we're gonna just try to escape.
Well, I want to kill him, but I don't want to make anybody else upset.
They're slavers and kidnappers. We kill.
They maybe have some head honcho, like you guys say, but they're still evil, and he would stab us in the back.
All right,
Literally.
Changed when we found
Did.
the prisoners.
What was that?
Things changed when we found the prisoners. Like, I'm okay with killing them now because they've taken.
Aaron speaks up. He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, as long as that's what I was gonna do anyways." And he just kind of pulls out his crossbow.
Thank God.
Shoots the goblin, and then he's like, "All right, let's go."
All this hemming and hawing about ethics and morals. Just fun, kill the goblins. Let's go.
That's what I want to do, but people will get mad.
All right. So, what is the order as you guys are marching down the rest of this tunnel?
I'm going to be in the middle of
I'll
the marching
go
order.
first because I can.
It just takes some time.
I'm at the back.
I'm holding Mercy's hand.
Okay.
I'm just happy I have the scarf, so
And I'll be at the front.
I have it like around my neck like a boa, and I just like throw it over my shoulder and take.
And it just like keeps trailing off.
All right.
Oh man, if you could get like a levitation spell on it, so it would like leave
Flow in
this
the wind.
forever extending train behind you, that'd be amazing. Sorry, I'm getting like.
All right. So, you guys continue on down the hall, and about 30, 40 feet later, on your left, there's another room. You guys make your way up to the room. You said it was who's up front now?
I set him up.
I thought you were in the middle.
Okay. Did you guys?
Oh,
name...
you set them up. You set,
them up.
Yes.
Oh, but you didn't name your characters yet. Okay. Because I don't know who's who. Rain. Okay, so it's
They're
Ness.
colored.
They are coded. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ness and Batey are up front, with Aaron following closely behind you guys. Would the two of you roll me a perception check for this next room real quick? I assume you're still sneaking and not. I mean, you can totally do whatever you want, but until I hear otherwise, that's what.
It's a full-blown one.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Plus 3. Wait, no. Yeah, plus 2.
Okay.
18.
Yep. So in the next room, you hear kind of like a grunting, like a guttural kind of sound, like, but sounds bigger than what the goblins are. You do hear like a goblin sound as it's like, and then this larger, like, and then just like a, and like, sounds like whatever the bigger thing is hit the goblin, and then he does like a small laugh kind of escapes this deep guttural voice, and as you peek around the corner, you can just barely see what appears to be almost, it looks kind of goblin-esque. Sam, could you roll me a call it a nature check for this, to see if you can identify what kind of creature this is?
Okay. 3.
You have no idea. So it looks like a large goblin. It looks kind of like a large, beefy, tall goblin to you.
Gotcha.
But you see that, and then you see like this as you kind of like peering around the corner. Its back is to you, and the goblin turns away, and it's rubbing its head as it is heading down another hallway, another small hallway into a larger room beyond.
Is there anything else around it at all? No other goblins?
Not that you can see. You can see, if you watch a moment longer, you can see the one goblin that was rubbing its head going just barely at the edge of your vision. You can see it kind of like talking to another goblin just right around the corner.
Can I send Ness a mind bullet asking if he wants to attack?
Mind bullets.
Sure.
Mind bullet.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
Telekinesis, Kyle.
So, yeah, ahead of you, to be clear,
yes or no?
you basically see, it looks like you see two goblins, and in fact, I can actually clear this out so you can see it now. In the room ahead of you, you see a large figure, and then beyond that, two goblins that have gone into the room beyond.
Is there any way I can maybe try to identify what it is now that I've seen it?
Yeah, now that she's pointed it out, sure. Yeah, do same thing. Roll me a nature check to see if you can. Nature, I'll let you do nature or history, whichever's higher.
That's gonna be then a 12.
Okay. It's not super hard to identify. Well, but you didn't know what a goblin was.
I've lived in the city my whole life. I might have read about these things.
He knew what a goblin was. He just had never seen one.
So
or fought one, right?
Having read some time, spending some time in the city and doing your studies, based on the description and based on how you've now seen goblins and how the comparisons were in the books, you believe this to be a bugbear, but you're not entirely sure. But that's what it appears to be.
What the French toast is a bugbear.
I back her off. Like,
Okay.
I think that's a bugbear.
Thanks for telling me. I'm sorry I jumped the gun.
It's okay. It's fine. Have you ever seen one of those before? I mean, I've never seen.
Do I,
this is
do
the
I
first
know
time I've
what
ever
that is?
seen one, but that's enough to scare me.
So Bate, as you think back, like you don't remember seeing one, but you kind of know what they are. They're basically like a large kind of muscled goblin. They're a little hairier though. Not even as intelligent as a goblin necessarily. They're just bigger, so they kind of get their way.
So would that be the king? Is a bugbear the king of the goblins?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think any bugbear's ever been smart enough to be a king. But I mean, the strongest isn't always the top. You know, I don't know.
Should we try to kill it now while we have an advantage and it doesn't know where we are?
I'd rather kill it now like that than have it coming up behind us.
All right.
Okay.
What would you like me to do? Eldritch Blast?
Um,
Are we close enough for me to do that? Or do I have to move closer?
You can just kind of if you scoot up just around the edge of the tunnel there, like there-ish, you can get a shot on him just barely.
Okay.
Like if you edge around there
yeah.
with the two. of you guys.
I say I can cast a spell on it as well that could do a lot of harm to it. And I think if we
At the same time?
I don't know that we have the time. Should we tell anybody else? But yeah, I think if we just do it at the same time and then.
Meanwhile, up in front of you, he's just like, you see him kind of like shuffling through stuff. Like there's a pile of like garbage on the table, and he's just like throwing bottles and stuff. And he picks up like a small like keg, and he's like, and he just begins like chugging this keg of something.
Okay. I mean, I can send mind bullets to everybody to let them know what's up,
Yeah.
right? They're close enough for me to do that.
Yeah, you can.
Mind bullets sent, Franz.
So you're saying what to them?
Ness, we're attacking. Ready, set, shoot.
I just tell him to be prepared to rush in here.
All right. Told.
Okay. So the rest of you guys, basically.